that time and the efforts I read. The brothers gave me the fear, the premise from there. The work of my life without fear.
I lyrical
Master.
Play Paris, so make you I can't Sktv menu. Say my journey, Tina can I say my jamo. And yes, I know money, the more I get you. And you love me, the more I get you.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grand bazaar.
And I didn't ya to money, and I said ya to money, and I couldn't play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I didn't ya to money, and I said ya to money, and I couldn't play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I don't get it now ya to money. That's the thing, and I don't get it now. Cause you work on my ya to money. Yeah.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grand bazaar.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talking about podcasts and connecting people and culture from there and out part of the globe. For the top people who waiting to serve. The flesh, the time and the efforts are red. The broadcast we giving are real and the premise my best. The work with my life without fear. From Grandfather Nima to Lufa, from Riverside, River G to Chile, from Vancouver, Bombay, Cape Mount, Montserrat, San to Backwater, from Maryland, Bonk to the Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa.
I've been talking with the Minister of Justice to see what our laws on the recklessness where people just get angry and set fire on properties, and even happening at the highest level of the cabinet building, something that nobody here would have ever thought about. I think we need to look at those seriously, and we need to come up with decisions. Because even the good books I read say be angry, and seeing that when you start a police station ablaze, who's going to pay for it? How soon we got to do that? We already have urgent issues to deal with. I think there should be a public trial on these kind of issues, so we should look at them seriously. I don't think anybody here intend to hide anybody intentionally, but nobody has a right to just ask something that we're not going to tolerate in this country. I told the minister we have to put it on record. I think you just sent some people to Wiala. At the third time they sent that place ablaze. No matter what you do, Jackie. No, Jackie's fine. Jackie. So these are critical issues. Besides that, we have to pay attention to youth issues also. Maybe some people may not understand that it is very, very tough on the youth. We had a coup, we had a war. A lot of young people have gone to school, they graduate, they get one degree, they get another one, expecting to get a job. They don't have jobs. That's the reason we talk about speeding up all of these negotiations for investment. If we don't do that, we have a backlog of people who are without jobs, people in the streets. Some of them have skills that can't put them to use. So we need to create some jobs. People need to be employed. If they're not employed, you and I are in trouble because they'll be at our doors, our offices. For example, the youth program that the SOEs contributed to, they just sent up an announcement.
Yes, indeed. Let me see. We are experiencing some technical glitch, but let me see this. Maybe okay, good. All right, good. So we were able to overcome the we live in a very new technology world. So sometimes we now understand some of these things. You'll be thinking that maybe you are outside, but again, a pleasant good evening, folks. Indeed, that the voice of our president. Even though I don't know his degree yet, because sometimes the people can give some of the degrees, doctorate degrees, and so forth. But he's our president, the deacon. In fact, he's my deacon. Maybe some of you are afraid, but for me, he's my deacon because I'm some of the Baptist. Whether you like it or not, I am son of the Baptist. So President Walker is my deacon. So when we talk him the Baptist way, some of you get angry and you want to, in fact, even you want to jump into our throat. But thank God, I just intend to play that. Let me see again. Where you were talking about the young people. That when we not create job, when we not give job to the young people, we're going to happen. But again, we will play that later on. But what the weather says, a pleasant good evening and welcome to the SKTV show, the Thursday edition of the SKTV show. For a matter of fact, today is the 13th of March. And let me tell some of you, Saturday will be holiday. Maybe you don't know yet. So you have today, you get tomorrow to hustle. So if you not hustle today or tomorrow, then that means forget it. They are saying, right? They say you get it. They say if you don't get it, then forget it, right? So please, let's share the show, people. Let's share the show. Indeed, today is another day. Like my brother and friend Mom will always say, it's another day to be alive. And we are grateful to the Almighty God. Let me see. Send the link to some of the people, but let me see. Muna is ready. Look, Muna, look, Muna, you have to give us update about our senator in Israel. Let me be friend, Muna. Yeah. So Emmanuel Peno. For me, I'm not happy the way Nigeria is. You go up, you come down. I'll be frank. But we're not ready yet for that one. On the first serious note, they'll get ready for Nigeria. Look, I will ask the team here. Sometimes let's just take our time to be discussing county per county and discuss some of the leaders who are quote unquote representing some of the counties instead of us just putting everybody into one basket and just talking about no. So we will come up with that. Morgan myself working behind the scene between Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, or no, between Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. We'll be thinking about one of the counties. Every time we come here, we'll discuss that, for example, Grand Jira County. How many lawmakers in Grand Jira County, or how many leaders in Grand Jira County? Then we discuss that, and we see or we ask. How we're gonna do it, but let's share the show first. Let me see. Yeah, look, when I get tomorrow also, though. Yeah, Monk. When I get tomorrow also, we never also tomorrow forget it. Tomorrow, Saturday, holiday. So, folks, share the show. Let me see. I'm trying now to send the link to Muna and the rest of the team. Yeah. And now he said, would they? Oh, correct. Mr. Kana already, John was already. Yeah. So, uh, No, I know today is Thursday, so it's going to be a busy and Thursday on today. Good. So Mr. Cannon already here, and is it coming? Let me see. Okay, no, let me see this. All right, good, good. So I get everything set up. So, but no, Steve, I get problem with you.
Where you
You
get
know,
problem?
because you my legal counsel. No,
Where
I
you
take
get,
it back. I take it back.
where you get
Uh-huh.
problem? Okay.
Monk is already look. I let you to us look. You know that people just share the show today will be busy. It will be busy today. Today is a busy Thursday. We gotta get jobs to the young people by all costs or what? They will go to our homes. They will go to our offices. And let me say hey to the Steve Deacon. So Mr. Cannon, good evening and welcome.
Thank you, Mavon. Thank you so much, and I'm glad to be here.
Great, wonderful. My Baptist, but even though you are runaway Baptist, but no matter where you go, you are runaway Baptist, but he's still the Baptist. So my good friend and brother, Steve, what's up?
Man, you say you get problem with me. What's going on?
No, the problem I was thinking about was you and myself were almost monk. What going on? So that you and myself were almost into the same the same outfit. So, I can't be my professor and myself, we can't wear the same clothes. So that was a problem. Nothing else, my brother. You know me, man. When I get issue, I'll tell you. Even though you are follow your deacon. But me, and I follow you, even though you're my professor. But my brother, what say you? What's up?
Yeah. Good to be here. I'm excited. To be alive. As always, the Liberian people are the most important people on earth. Most importantly, the Liberian women are the most beautiful women on earth. Another day, I'm here. And let's see what the conversation is for today as you lead the conversation. And let's see what's going on.
Great. Thank you so much, Steve. And Mark, yeah,
What's
myself, we've
up,
been
guys? Another day
for
to be alive, to be on SKTV. We are here to rock and roll for the next 2 hours with some development and political events, social events happening around the world and mainly Liberia. So I'm here, ready to go.
great. And let me say welcome to all of you. Welcome to the SKTV show, the Thursday editions. I know a lot of you been asking the back to back, but Mark, Steve, and other Mr. Connor, so many things ongoing back home, and I know you've been following all of it happening. Like Steve was asking as to what we'll be talking. We have so many things to talk about. We'll also talk about the CMC, and in fact, we'll talk about the president or second cabinet meeting in less than 10 days as to, in fact, in his meeting, he also, in fact, said a lot of things to even talk about the young people should be given opportunity or they should be given jobs and so forth. And apart from that, the immigration, the visa-free policies and so forth, maybe we'll also chip into that and also the CTN, right? Yes, indeed, the CTN process. Once upon a time, that was heavily campaign against, but today has finally passed. And the former commerce minister was also dismissed just because of that. But again, that already been passed. But Mr. Kane, I know you've been following a lot of things happening throughout the week. But that's one thing that caught your attention before we go to Steve and other monk.
Yeah, thank you, Mavon. Once again, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to our many listeners around the globe. I want to say thank you to you, Monk, Mabon, and Monk, for keeping the show alive. I know without you guys, there will be no SKTV, and we must acknowledge, you know, the hard work that you continue to do for SKTV and the Liberian people. What in my mind, or what really caught my attention, I know some of the detractors or naysayers may find it difficult to listen to what I'm about to say, but I know truth hurts, but the fact is the fact. There's nothing we can do about that. What really caught my attention and I'm overzealous about is the level of enthusiasm, the level of attention, the level of euphoria, and better yet, the level of fear and panic that has been created because of the emergence of the citizen movement for change. The entire country is vibrating politically, and those who, with some false sense of entitlement, that thought they were untouchable, that thought they were the binary choice, they are now on their edge. They are afraid. So it is very important that a party created for less than 3 weeks, and that party is keeping people on the edge of their seats. That party is being discussed across the country and across the world as a potential government in waiting, as a potential government that will retire, the failed Unity Party government and that of the CDC. So what really, blew my mind is that the level of interest expressed by the Liberian people to join the movement. You have a political party, you have a movement. CMC is a movement wherein every Liberian found their portion. It befits everybody's, thinking. If you are for young people, empowering young people, it befits you to be in the CMC. If you are for development of the country, whether it's road connectivity, road connection, building bridges, building schools, building clinics, then you have. I'm delighted for the fact that some of the calls that I'm getting. I have several calls just to talk about a few. Somebody called me and said, Siku, how do we join this movement? And the person told me the reason why I'm calling you, I want to join this movement is because it's attached to this process.
Well,
I've been very honest, dedicated, and you're not hearing?
Yes, go ahead, Mr. Cannon. You were coming a little bit. Yes, we're getting you now, but I think they're a little bit break in. But go ahead, Mr. Cannon. Well, Steve.
Yeah. Let's go to Monk first, and then I'll be the last to hear from Monk. I know you and Monk started the week, so I want to definitely acknowledge him. So let Monk go first.
Well, there are a few stories that caught my attention. Most noticeably, I would say You know, we always talk on SKTV that we want to hear some positive thing from the country. Every time we don't want to be breaking bad news here, it damping your spirit. It's not a good thing to keep to be like a negative or the doomsday prophet. And I think the government took a step today when it came to that visa on arrival program. I think it was a collaboration with some company from I think Slovenia. They called Cities and Zip Solution to come up with the visa on arrival and re-entry permit to make the process very easy, and that's a good thing in terms of generating more revenue. But we keep talking about this thing on the show. It's just one step to the process. It's one thing to give visa free, but then it's another thing to make the country attractive so that people can come to the country, in huge numbers. So I will applaud the government for that. We want to see some of these issues coming from the Bwakale administration. That's a positive thing. And there's whole controversy about the statement from the vice president concerning Georgia being an ordinary citizen. I think those two stories were the one that I followed today. And that's it. I think I don't have that much on it from Liberia. So far so good. Those two stories were the one that caught my attention this morning.
Well, Steve.
And the EULA endorsement, the president of EULA, I don't know how he came up, because it's very unprecedented. You see, that's why I don't blame the people back home. When you live in the industrialized world, you claim to be educated, your actions should back your education. I don't know, even though the vice president is yet to make it official that he will be running, but somehow the Liberian organization in this America was quick to endorse a guy that is yet to announce that he's running for president. You see what we're talking about, Mabel? But let me stop there for now. It's just an introduction anyways.
Great. So, Steve?
Well, like I said, I want to thank our people. Thanks for the support. I've listened to both Sekou and Monk. A lot of things happening in the country, stemming from the forming of the new political party, the CMC, led by political leader Musa Hassan Peledi, and the president and the vice president trip to the U.S., which we digest and dissect over the next few days here. EULA's connection, whatever it is, we're getting some information from EULA. I'm supposed to be confirming some things today. Because on SKTV, when we get some of the information, we like to confirm it with sources. If we can get it, we'll come on the record and say, hey, we got this information. We can confirm it. Yes, I listened to the recording of the EULA president directly endorsing Jeremiah Cone for 2029 presidency, when Jeremiah Cone has not even announced that he is running, even though it's been speculated in the public. But the fact that he did that alone is a problem, is a threat. We'll give the history of EULA in connection with Liberia and so forth. We'll lay that history down. And some of the roles and responsibilities we should be playing up here in the US or in the diaspora. As I've always said, many of us on this show, I don't believe, especially myself, that our goal is to come here and lie and make excuses for one group of people so that later on we can go get a job like what other people can do on Spoon Talk and other places. No, that is not our goal. We don't come here to look for a job. We don't suck up. We don't kiss up to nobody. And we don't go behind the horse and go beg you. We're not punks. No, we don't do that. No, we don't do that. So, for example, other people go on other platforms as an exhibition. When you hear them changing their tone and talking things that they will not say because they want to get yeah, they want to be appointed. That's why, listen, folks, that's why some of us, we speak the way we speak with a level of authority and bravery. We speak with the fact we are unbending. That's why you see, that's why, to be honest, I try my best not to go on other platforms because I'm not going to go there and go fall into that foolishness.
and go confirm, right?
No, I don't subscribe to the foolishness. I say as it is. And I ain't going to stick like that until the things change. Now, if that is the reason why a Liberian government or Liberian officials say, well, I think Monk has this skill set in as much as he criticized me to come and help the country so they will not reach out to me. That's fine. Nobody reaching out to them. Nobody reaching out to no government official or no political party or no political actor to say on SKT to say, oh, please hook me up or please do that, please do that. No, it's not going to happen. Nobody's sending a boyfriend to anybody. No way. That is not going to happen. I talked last night to a serious Unity Party person and my position was clear to that person. No disrespect. I told that person as a friend, as a brother, oh, my man, we let you small. Oh, my man, I said, listen, I'm not here to go back and forth. I'm telling you what I say, and I stand. The same way I say behind the house, and the same way I can say in front of the public. Joseph Boakai is an unserious man. The fact that you follow Joseph Yuma Boakai, I question you, your level of judgment, your level of seriousness. You got to be seriously unserious to follow Joseph Boakai for presidency. You have to be. You can't beat it. You can't doubt it. So, these are some of the conversations we're going to be having. I heard Monk saying he thanked the government for the initiative for the visa upon arrival, whatever it is. I will not rush to thank any government. We are dealing with a criminally managed group of people. So anything they do, I got to see the prints. I got to look into the details. I got to read and see how it will benefit the Liberian people. I'm not going to rush to. I'm not going to be like Costa and other jokers and who passing around, Costa doing PR for the government. I see all the why you don't get Costa out time. On the show, the people who on the show. Let me say this: the people who on the show, and there's some supporters of Costa. There's some people that follow Costa and that support Costa. I respect them. And let me tell you why I respect them. Even in our disagreements, they still respect Sktv. They maintain relationship. Even in our criticism of Costa. But we have told you from day one, we were the first group of people on social media that openly criticized Costa and told you who he is and what he stands for. I remember the last comment Sekou made about Costa a few weeks ago, that Costa has no moral, nothing, that he goes for the highest bidder. I don't vote Costa. I can never get vote Costa again. But you know what? Costa has shown who he is. He has told you who he is. If you refuse to accept him for who he is, then you got a problem. Costa didn't get a problem. Costa has not changed in his operation. He has not changed about the way he works and he does things. So what is strange here for Costa to make case for Joseph Boakai and deal with situation? What is change? That news story? Why are you on there? Now we discuss serious thing. The serious thing here is we get serious issue at here, and we have diagnosed the issue. So that we are focused on. And we are hearing from the vein. I think somebody got the stuff on. I think that's Mr. Cannon. Yeah, that's Mr. Cannon. Let me Mr. Cannon. We are hearing that we'll be playing host. We have not confirmed 100% yet, but we'll be playing host to the CMC endorsed candidate for the Nima County election. So yeah, we have heard. We are working on it. When it's confirmed, we'll probably have it here on the weekend. You don't want to miss that conversation because some of you are passing around telling us CNC people there, you're coming see now. What the question will come ask? Your thing will suck us, eh? You ain't ready yet. You're not ready for it yet.
So Steve, let me confirm.
Yes.
He's going to be on Sktv on Saturday.
Okay, no problem. So folks,
the next senator of Nima County, Honorable Mark Billion. Mark Billion going to be my man. Let me finish my sentiment. You will continue.
Yeah, we'll charge you. You don't come back.
Okay. Let me finish. They can charge me.
Yeah.
So the Honorable Mark Billion will be on Sktv this coming Saturday. Brace yourself. He will come and unveil his agenda, his plan for Nima County and Liberia as a whole. So brace yourself, and we'll be here to give him the maximum, support. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kane. Well, folks, one of the B members from CMC said the senatorial aspirant or candidate will be here. And you can rest assured that we'll be here. We will be here. We will not get interest or party or whatever it is. We will not join nobody. We'll be here too. We'll answer the needed question. You will not come in and say, what you go? We'll ask you all the necessary needed question. Muna, what's up? Welcome to the show. I see you laughing. What's going on?
That's it, girl. I just enjoy you talking about what you talking about.
I know me, you and Mong and Melbourne will be here. Say what I do, I said, we'll be here.
I said, I will be ready for that.
Yeah, I know we're quite joy. We're tacting them on here. But folks, let's share the show. A lot to talk about, a lot to discuss. a lot. Milburn, it's up to you. So that we can get into the conversation, or I don't know if there's anything else you want to touch before we can get into
Yes,
the
indeed. Thank you. In fact, let me say thank to you and other Mr. Kane. You know, it's not very easy, but thank to all of you for that. But Muna is here, so let me welcome Muna and ask Muna, what's up?
Not too much, Milburn. Isaac.
Muna, are you there?
Maybe I'm good. Isaac, are you getting me?
Yes, indeed. Go ahead, Muna. In fact, how's Virgil? How going to County?
Yeah, Quentin, I'm back. We are here. Just I have some issues in the county. Just the afternoon, fire got to the development in the house. The whole house got burned to ashes. They didn't take anything from in the house, only a charger. Yeah, one of the sad news right now is Virgil, and also the citizens are complaining about because last year we didn't see this where took over, other people's houses got damaged, and I think since the disaster management committee went to them, took that particular, but nothing is going on, and it's still looking up to them. And now also a storm came in a Putu, Palawa town, where the storm left several people homeless. Yeah, several homeless in the Putu, Palawa town in Grand Jide County. So that's what's happening right now in the county. They are calling on the disaster management committee. They are calling on the local authorities. They are calling on the representatives. They are calling on senators, the humanitarian to come to their aid because it's not easy for them because they have children and he's living with friends. It's so much hard for them. So they are calling on all those people to come to their aid to see how best they can get their houses back. They can be able to move in it. So that's what happening right now in Grand Jide County.
Well, thank you so much, Muna. Thank you for the latest update from our county, Grand Jide County. And those of you maybe Senator Zoe Emmanuel Pena also and following, or those of you who are also following this broadcast and you hear from Grand Jide County, that's the latest news coming from Grand Jide. But again, we moved. Mark, Steve, and other Mr. Kane, so many things, even though I hear my brother still talking about quote unquote the illegal suspension or according to Representative Yeke Koruba that he was illegally suspended by the majority bloc, and you and that Mr. Kane not mention anything as such. Maybe I have to maybe put little someone will say you got to put fire on that, maybe so that you people can know exactly that in fact one of Yeke Koruba been suspended by the quote unquote the majority bloc, and that also sparked a lot of mixed reactions to that. But again, yes,
maybe I beg you, since you spoke about that just before you go into it, you see the reason why some of us not talking about it yet. And tomorrow the Supreme Court ruling. You can rest assured. You know on Sktv we don't lead things with God, we don't forget, we don't do that, let us forget it, let us leave it. We're not on that crap. You know that on the show. So lead that one tomorrow. Tomorrow let the Supreme Court rule. Then we'll take it from there. But if we start what they call it now and says illegal and not illegal, me and I want to run that the Supreme Court being tomorrow. Let we hear the Supreme Court tomorrow. Can't be talking auto viral, be talking that funny thing what they talked before. That tomorrow when you must scatter everything on the show. Tomorrow we're waiting for them. So today, let Yeke Koruba read the ballot today. Tomorrow we'll pick up the conversation. That's the reason you see some online talk about it. We know what's going on, but we know what's going on. We know what's going on. And we know the plan that they got for Yeke. We'll talk about some of it tomorrow.
Great, thank you. So so far so good. These are some of the training issues apart from the president today. Mind you, His Excellency President Joseph Imam Boubacar in less than
maybe since you mentioned Yeke, let me just say something. You said we haven't said anything about it. Like Steve said, there are a lot of things going on in the back. So just for your information and the listening public, the United Party people being carried on, some kind of subversive plan against Yeke Koruba in the district. They've been going door to door, collecting people's signature that the people of the district want Yeke to be removed from the House of Representatives. So they are doing at the same time, fighting the political battle, but the same time going in the back, collecting people's signature that they say they don't want Yeke as a representative. So the United Party is actually trying to do everything to get rid of Yeke Kwaluba. But unfortunately for them, the law may not be on their side. I just want to add that.
All right, good. Thank you so much, Mr. Kane. So yes, indeed. So the president on today was able to have his second cabinet meeting in the year 2025. In less than 10 days, and that also spark of mixed reactions as to what's going on, as to whether our president is in control, or maybe he wanted to react maybe to some of the truly national issues and so forth. But then in the president or cabinet meeting, he talked about the young people, that indeed the government should be able to provide jobs or to give jobs to the young people, or else the young people will come to the offices, and in fact, the young people will even disturb them. So that also spark up mixed reactions. People are saying, I think the president is right, but now how that going to happen? That's one million question. Which type of job? Because also the president also talked about the or the job activity, something that's happening, no job, and some company and so forth, even with the issue of the CTN. So there are a lot of things happening, and Liberians are also concerned about some of the issues as to what's going to happen with the bread and butter issues and so forth. So yes, indeed, apart from some of these things, nothing much, apart from the lawmakers holding and pulling the majority bloc having their own quote unquote their retreat and so forth. But apart from that, my brother, we are here and we're cool and nothing happening. We are all okay here back home. So far so good. These are some of the trending on national issues.
No, but quick question. And I was laughing before we get into the conversation. Did you say Joseph Boakai had another cabinet meeting?
Yes, indeed.
Who did you go to the meeting?
Well, that's a one-man question, because according to information, the president said that those who were not able to declare their assets, they were suspended. And
but that's a question. If you fire almost 500 government officials, so who then go into those meetings?
Well, I don't know. Maybe.
And why is the president calling them in the meeting? So the first meeting he called less than 7 days ago, they not listen to him. That they won't want to call again. So that I now see what man old man, and I stand by that statement unrepentantly. But I'll get into the conversation. Then we'll delve into it, because some days, to be honest with you, I can sit down and say I don't want to watch TV or just lay down in my bed, cover my head, and just sleep and not talk about our business. Because not only that it's frustrating, but with Joseph Boakai, it seems that there is no head, no tail, nothing seems to make any sense. I mean, I don't understand. There's some people that you suspended, but I want to zoom in on the EULA issue and the suspension before we get into the local politics, because that's international. The quote unquote EULA president.
Yeah, so in that, I think that New Dawn newspaper, one of our local daily here, yes, indeed, I'm correct. So the New Dawn newspaper said that EULA president endorses VP Kun for 2029. So that was the major headline on their front page of their local daily of their papers, and that on Thursday edition, March 13. Yes, indeed, today. So they are saying that you people, I don't know whether you're part of the EULA or Mr. Kenneth also part of the EULA, or Monk also part of EULA. Those of you who are part of EULA, the president of EULA is saying, or in fact, he's saying that he finished endorsing the candidacy of the VP of Liberia for 2029 elections. So that's what we're seeing here, and that's what we're following.
First of all, per the constitution of EULA, per the Constitution of Eula, and I listened to the video recording. Let nobody say he didn't do that. He did it. I'm not going by New Dawn, whatever it is. During the course of the week, it was sent to us. We listened to it. I'm fully aware of the Constitution of Eula. I have the Constitution of Eula with me. The president is in constitutional violation from Eula. Let me put it that clear. Let's just lay that one clearly. The president is in full constitutional violation from Eula. He is. Eula should not be engaging in political activities. The president could be sued in the United States for that. It could impact Eula's operation because that's directly engaging into politics. Eula does not do that. To those of you who follow Eula who are listening, I'm telling you now that there are a couple of actions considered and planned for this current Eula leadership. That's unprecedented. We are even told it is alleged that the current president of Eula is somehow related to Jeremiah Kuhn. We are working on ascertaining the fact. Yes, I do have the Eula Constitution and I went to it. I went to it and I read it. You cannot do that. That's wrong. That's unacceptable. I will hope Eula will do the right thing, retract that statement, and apologize to the Liberian people. And we will not stop having that conversation. We'll raise that issue throughout this time going forward. You guys, as you are aware, the former Eula president tried the same thing with Nathaniel McGill. They did not endorse CDC, but they did plan to say they were, when Nathaniel McGill made that offer of $300,000, that day I was there. I was on the spot. I was in the hall that day when he did it in Philadelphia. And it was a serious problem. This time around, this president going as far as endorsing sitting Vice President Jeremiah Kuhn is a problem. It's a serious, serious problem. And what we're taking from on this side in America, we're handling from the American side. I want Tanan Liwe will go forget it on his side. So he is wrong. He shouldn't be doing that. That is absolutely wrong. Again, it's absolutely wrong. He should not be melting to the politics. And I want to say, those of us who are Liberians in the diaspora, the current president of Eula did not speak on behalf of us. The statement he made was irresponsible and reckless. Coming from the current president of Eula, it was irresponsible and reckless. He needs to take back that statement. And we will be ensuring that he takes it back, or the next course of action will cause him some problem. I know he likes to go to court. I know that. He has a record of going to court for Nima Kante, for the Nima Association, to the Eula. He has a record of going to court. We're also following other investigations on illegal activities that they have been doing since they took over from the Eula. Please give us a chance tomorrow. We'll bring all of this because we'll be here for the Supreme Court. We'll bring the Eula story. We'll turn it in. We do not want conflict in our country. If Jeremiah Kuhn wants to run for president and you want to endorse him, it's okay for you to endorse him as an individual, but not in the name or the sitting president of the entity. It's wrong. It's unacceptable. It is unacceptable to the president of Eula. Many of you who are watching, this is not place. You have freedom in the country. You can speak. You can hold this Eula president accountable. This is not a joking matter. It needs to stop, because the way he started now, the next president that will come could endorse the next leadership or the next group of Liberian leaders are there. And that's not what Eula is about. That's not what Eula was founded for. If you want to engage, I know other people have used Eula to purport themselves to seek government attention and job in Liberia or whatever it is. Because for most Liberians, from what I've noticed, it got to always be some kind of hustle. They're always trying to get some kind of hustle in Liberia. You know, I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure what it is. And I'm not saying you can't work in Liberia. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm not saying necessarily that if you are a professional, you can give back to your country or you can serve it. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying if you are going to advocate, even when you have a job in Liberia and you are working, they'll keep on the advocacy because you have, that's who you are, right? But I want to get you a job, or when you seek job like Anthony Kesselly there and all the other people there, some of them went by Liberia and they just shut up, getting bail the government, and they did what they're supposed to do. And that's absolutely wrong. That's unacceptable. That is not the right thing to do. So, I mean, we'll call on the president of Eula and the leadership of Eula. We will be reaching out to them. But I'm saying here clearly on this show that the action was wrong and it was unconstitutional. And the president needs to retract that statement. It's not a joking matter. I don't know if Monk and Sekou wants to chime into that before we get into the next conversation.
For me, I read it. I think
Yeah,
it's going to elaborate. Go ahead, Mr.
let
Kenneth. Go ahead.
Mongo. No, let Mongo. More. I'll go after you. Go ahead.
For me, I don't know. I mean, what I read today from the Liberian Inquirer, I mean, Observer newspaper.
The
Sorry,
New
not the
Dawn, the New
Inquirer.
Dawn newspaper.
No, I didn't read it from the New Dawn. I got it from the Liberian Observer.
Okay.
They say it was unprecedented, but I really wanted to know whether, I mean, the capacity, whether it was an official endorsement, because the last time I checked, the president made a statement saying that if your focus is on 2029, then you might as well resign from his administration. So I don't know whether I get some verbal stuff or whether they were in an official gathering or if there's an official endorsement. And from the paper, the vice president never even responded because they were talking about, according to the article, they were talking about mostly deportation and how they are battling corruption before that statement came from the president of the EULA. So I don't know in which capacity he endorsed or Jeremiah come for the presidency before you can talk about the legal process. So maybe over the day we'll get an in-depth
Mom,
understanding of what happened.
quickly before Sekou comes in, I have access to the video. It's just I haven't grabbed that particular part, but I have access to the video. I'll send it to you. He endorsed him doing in the public. Now, in his capacity as a sitting president of EULA, that's unacceptable. It goes against the constitution of EULA. And I'll send you the constitution of EULA too so that you can read it. That's not what EULA was funded for. He cannot do that.
Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Okada, come in, please. Mr. Okada?
Well, same as the kind is struggling, but Steve, quickly, maybe some of these things. These are things that we've been saying from day one. That sometimes some of the problems that we are all going through today is not only back home. Like Mongo and myself will talk about these things. That some of our people on that side, they are also adding up to some of the frustrations that Liberians are going through. Because like for example, you can have a certain vice president who having gone maybe about 2 years, then you start to put things into his mind. Like, okay, now you are our next president. What has the man done? Nothing. Nothing. In fact, even the man even make everything clear to you there that in fact it's a parked car. So, well again, that's the kind of country that we live in. And that's the kind of people that we are. Yeah. So for me, I think
I don't overlook the statement from EULA president. The last I checked, I know he is fully alert and oriented. We have told you on several occasions that the move by Jeremiah Kun to increase his salary over the sitting president's salary in itself points to something clandestine that they're having. And I want to say this to Joseph Boaga, United Party, the same way we told Costa on the show, that Joseph Boaga was going to dump him. Let me say this to Joseph Boaga. Jeremiah Kun will mess with you. Watch and see. Go keep the record. And we told Costa on the show. Joseph Boaga will dump you. Anyway, let Sekou come in. Sekou, go ahead. I know you couldn't connect earlier. Sekou, are you there?
But Steve,
let me say this. Let's go to the statement of Jeremiah Kun. I think I listened to last night. I was trying to listen to the previous shows you and Monk have because I like to catch up before I come on the show. I don't want to take the statement from Jeremiah Kun lightly when he said to the word that he's a parked car. I've seen some people who I'm cool with, some people who I expect. Let me tell you something. Something that you don't have to say anything about it. You just let it be. Some things are indefensible. There's no way you can defend them. Jeremiah Kun's statement that he made that he's a packer shows that he's ungrateful, shows that he's a crybaby. He complaining about Joseph Boakai. It also shows that he's hiding in here and he moved on Joseph Boakai.
Good. Ain't too soon for that.
Let me prove this to you. First of all, to the Liberian people, Jeremiah Kun is a known liar. Jeremiah Kun is a liar. In fact, Jeremiah Kun has an alleged criminal allegation on him, and we've pointed that out over and over before the election, reported by Santan. Now, it's important to understand that Jeremiah Kun claims that he's a packer. Then let's go into his vice president for maybe 15 months or 14 months. Let's go since he's been vice president. Let's go into his role and his responsibility. Let's compare that vis-a-vis with Joel Howard Taylor. Let's compare Joseph Yuma Boaka's vice presidency also when he served as vice president for Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Let's compare all of them. The statement Joseph Boaka used during Ellen Johnson Sirleaf time that he was after Ellen Johnson Sirleaf government, that he was a packer, was a deceptive statement. Joseph Boaka used it after the elections, after he was vice president, few months or few years after he was vice president. Even as using that, he was still deceptive because under Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, Joseph Yuma Boaka was he was the president of the Senate. The 66 bogus deal, he brought it to the Senate. The brown envelopes, it is alleged that he was part of it. He collected all his pays and his benefits for 12 years. But not only that, the same United Party people used pictures that Ellen Johnson Sirleaf sent Joseph Yuma Boaka to represent her out of the country. He met with Obama. He met with Nancy Pelosi at the time. He met with Xi Jinping from China at that time as a sitting vice president. So how can you be a packer, be playing all these, meeting all these world leaders and be playing these essential roles and be going around the country and be representing Ellen Johnson Sirleaf in the United States, be meeting the Speaker of the House at the time, which is Nancy Pelosi. How can you still consider yourself a packer? How does that work? It's not like you were isolated. You were part of the government. In your own statement, Joseph Yuma Boaka said he was the last man to leave the room. He advised Ellen and so forth. So how can you say that? How can you say that?
So, Steve, if you're done, I can speak a little bit.
No, make a statement because I know you also make your statement, please.
Yeah, so I was going to contribute to what you were talking about, Eula.
Yes, please.
And Eula president's comment. I was told some part of last week that Mohammed Keita was the president of Eula. I'm not even sure because I didn't know because I didn't pay attention to Eula, lately. I haven't paid attention to Eula. But for the topic, Eula has been a toothless bulldog. Eula just got big name. Eula was Eula when, the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, the Charles Taylor, the Tom Wogu, all those people when they were in Eula. But even when Sir Mohammed Kurmane were president of Eula was taken. But the minute Anthony Keseley became the president of Eula was divided between Maria Sita and Anthony Keseley.
Yeah.
From that time up to where we are, leadership of Eula has been sucking up to the sitting government of Liberia. Remember when President Weah was there, the Eula leadership, they were sucking up to the leadership of Liberia because what happened, those who are ascended to the position of Eula, they use Eula as a stepping stone to get into government in Liberia or to gain some sympathy or to work with people there just to cultivate their own path politically through Eula. Eula is not a serious-minded organization. Eula is supposed to be serious-minded, but those that have been elected so far of late for the past 10, 15 years has been people been sucking up to any government in power. They have been doing that. As a matter of fact, after Anthony Keseley was, after he left the position of president of Eula, he became, actually it was still controversial president of Eula, then he became some kind of policy advisor to Joseph Yuma Boaka. Joseph Yuma was vice president.
Yep.
So it has been like that. So for Mohammed Keita to have endorsed, I haven't listened to it, to have endorsed Jeremiah Kun, I see it as something against Jeremiah Kun because you can have a sitting president who is still alive, who they say he is capable and able.
Yeah.
Then you endorse a vice president to replace him.
Yeah.
So this will also bring it also brings the allegation being, going around among United Party people that Jeremiah Kun has an ulterior motive to get to power sooner rather than later. It was against that background. When they got to power, they tried to isolate him somehow. But after Jeremiah Kun gave them some level of assurance that he is a United Party person,
Yeah.
that he's not a threat to Joseph Nyimabuakai, that's how Joseph Nyimabuakai opened the doors for him and allow him to do some of the things he's been doing now as a vice president. But again, for one of his closest person to come and announce for him or endorse him, let's forget about the URA level. Politically, this person has just buried the political ambition of Jeremiah Kun becoming president. Because you know what? United Party people will not allow it. And the Liberian people now, who know the track record of Jeremiah Kun, knowing who he is, they're going to start to destroy Jeremiah Kun from within, not from outside. Especially United Party people. They're going to start doing that right at the door, because there are a lot of other people who don't agree with him. So Mohamed Keita, if he did that, then he did wrong to Jeremiah Kun. He just buried his political ambition to become president. Jeremiah Kun, I don't know, you say you're a park car, now you're going to be a park forever. That's what I gotta say.
Thank you, Mr. Kane. But Monk, what I know, Monk, because we're delving into there a little bit. What say you?
For me, I got a whole different theory when it comes to the podcast thing. Because for me, when I listen to people, I like to understand the context they are speaking from before I can start listening to somebody. It's almost like when you're writing your paper, you got an idea, all the supporting details that make up your paragraph, but you got a central idea. When Joseph Boaga made that statement, because Joseph Boaga, don't forget, he was vice president for 12 consecutive years. That's 12 years. That's more than a decade. And when you name the kind of initiative that Joseph Boaga was involved into, not too many you can name off. So when he was asked that question after he declared his intention to run for the presidency, that's when they asked him, Mr. President, why you didn't do that for president? The whole thing about podcasting is more of a constitutional issue. You are giving a set role and responsibility. Yet you are the head of the Senate, but you cannot even cast a vote and say there is a tiebreaker. I don't know of how many or responsibility the vice president is giving, even though it's on paper. But in terms of execution, you don't have that much. It's the president that will have to empower you. It's the president that have to put you on the road, that have to give you a lot of initiative for you to be engaged and for you to be seen, your popularity. That's what I know. So the context on which Jeremiah Kun spoke versus Joseph Boaga, that's two different things. Maybe for him, he told the president that I want to be more engaged. Maybe that may be his interpretation. But I know at the time when President Boaga spoke, in the capacity after he declared his intention, that's what he meant to say. And that's the reality. But I know that Jeremiah Kun's situation is totally different from Joseph Boaga's situation because they were speaking from two different angles. I didn't just go with the soundbite from Jeremiah Kun, but I was making reference to the president the current president at the time when he spoke, that I was almost like a Packer and I wanted to be on the racetrack. But even though I did some things, but the president didn't utilize me. She should have gotten more out of me, but I wasn't giving those rules and responsibility. I think that's what he meant to say. So I'm not here to defend Jeremiah Kun's statement. I'm just clarifying when Joseph Boaga spoke at the time. That's what he meant to say, that I could have done better, I could have been more engaged, but the president never fully utilized me at the time. I think that's what he meant to say. If you even go back to that video to watch the entire video, that's what he meant. As for Jeremiah Kun, maybe he's asking, maybe it's a political move because I know he wants to run. If you are one step to the presidency, then more than likely you want to run for the presidency. So maybe he's saying it for political expediency, or maybe he's indirectly sending a signal to the president that, you know what, I want to run for the presidency, so make me more engaged and put me on the road too. I don't want to be sitting here you can make me to be more engaged in the political process. I think that's what he meant to say too. So, but we'll leave it also then. It's up to Joseph Boakai to make that decision.
So Steve, before you come in, let me just say something related to what Mon, just said. Mon, listening to the question and the answer, Jeremiah Kun was not asking Joseph Boakai to actually get engaged. Jeremiah Kun, as we speak today, he is doing more in this government more than Joseph Boakai. Jeremiah Kun, he just wanted to lie and defend his inability to make this happen, to lie that he was a Opaka. Jeremiah Kun is doing more than Joseph Boakai was doing in Allen government, and Jeremiah Kun is doing more today than Joseph Boakai, who is president, when it comes to making decisions in this government. If you look at the whole scenario as to how they came about to remove the speaker, it was orchestrated and executed by Jeremiah Kun. Joseph Boakai just gave his blessing to it, and there's no denial about that. Jeremiah Kun himself spoke to people that recorded him, but he doesn't know that it was recorded, as to what happened, how they planned it, and how the whole thing was executed. So Jeremiah Kun also was the one that took over the yellow machine. Jeremiah Kun went and took over it and disregarded whatever Joseph Boakai and other have done in the previously, and Jeremiah Kun took over. Jeremiah Kun, all the government officials, majority of the people, knowing the fact that Joseph Boakai could, probably retire, or he could be, his technique could deteriorate, or God forbid, he could kick the bucket. Jeremiah Kun is one step away to the presidency. So they've all been paying homage to Jeremiah Kun. Jeremiah Kun being controlling them, and it was through that effort he tried to remove the speaker so he can have more, so he can expand his leverage on the House of Representatives as well as the Senate. So Jeremiah Kun is not a Parker. He's just a liar who trying to act like he's not been given the opportunity to do what he's supposed to do. When he has more leverage and opportunity to work than Joseph Boakai did then, and that Joseph Boakai has right now. So I just want to make that clarification. Jeremiah Kun is not a trusted person based on that statement.
Well,
we know the reality.
Let me go to Monk and others who, and I see Monk's point, which is a valid point regarding the constitution or the constitutionality of the role of the vice president in Liberia. No, it's not a pack car role. I want to dispute that. I want to discourage that statement. Only politicians who are deceptive, that Jeremiah Kun and Joseph Boakai will claim that this is a role that is like a pack car role or whatever it is. So what you are saying in essence is you are saying the people who wrote the Constitution, something wrong with them. They just decided to put a vice president, they just put somebody there and just be paying, and they got nothing to do. When the president say move, then you move. So that the president can tell him to go in the morning to go be on top of the Senate, to run the Senate. There is a function of the vice president. The vice presidential role is a functional role. Let's stop saying those things. Let's not limit it to that. The vice presidential role in the Constitution has a function. It is detail is there. You can be vice president and won't be playing the role of your boss. No, that's not why you're elected. You got it wrong. If your boss called you to assist him, great. If the boss does not call you to assist him or her, then that means they don't need your help in that area. But the boss will need your help to push bills in the Senate. The boss will need your help to make sure that the Senate, the House of Representatives, the first branch of government is in line with the project and whatever the president wants to do. You are playing a vital role. In fact, the vice president is the only person in the government that has the ability and the capacity to work in all three branches of government at once. So when we pass around and make these statements, we are enabling people who got criminal minds to shield away from the responsibility and make it look like they only take, when you're not taking order from the president directly, that means you're not functional. No, that's not true. No, that is not true. I'm not going to agree with that assertion. And Jeremiah, in the case of Jeremiah Kun, I agree with 700. Jeremiah was not being political. Jeremiah Kun was not being political. He was being deceptive. Yeah. You breaking up? Maybe Mong wants to react. You breaking up bad with Mr. Kane.
Are we going for news bulletin today? I don't know what's happening to Mr. Kane from his end.
Yeah, I think the news bulletin, they're already on. I think we can have this conversation about the vice presidential before Melbourne comes back. Because Monk, to be honest with you, this is what these guys have used from a deceptive standpoint to make it look like the vice presidential role is just a dogma position. It's just a position that get there, they just elect you. Okay, if that is the case, then the president will have the right to switch you anytime he wants to switch you or to change you. But if that's not it, it's the constitutionally elected position that has a role and a function. It is the vice president that also coordinates the judicial branch of government with the executive branch of government, simultaneously the first branch of government, the legislature, with the executive. So for us to take away that responsibility for the vice, in fact, the vice president, if you really look at it, if you have a vice president that is working cohesively with the president, taking responsibilities and doing what he or she's supposed to do, in fact, the vice president should be looked at very carefully in every government. It's not just a joking position. It's not a joking position.
So Steve, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Yeah, I want to ask you a question. What is the vice president's budget in the fiscal year?
The current vice president budget is larger than Joseph Yuma Boakai currently.
Okay, it's more than $2 million.
Yes, but you're not
doing let's take Joseph Yuma Boakai and Jeremiah Kun's statement at face value. If you are a parker, if you have no functionality, if you are not working, you're dysfunctional, you're just a parked car, doing nothing, you're just there. What are you taking $2 million or over $2 million of Labrador people money for? Why? Why should we pay somebody who has no function, who do nothing? That's my question to you and among and everybody. Why should we pay people who are not working, who have no function?
But we spent half our day on the show a couple of days ago concerning that same question. Because we know the government and our government in Liberia use certain institutions to steal and to siphon money from the system, whether it's the NSA, the Joint Security Apparatus, whether it's the office of the vice president. Because we talked about this lengthily on Sktv, that if the role of the vice president is limited, why he should be giving more money in the budget? Because it does not justify the work that he's actually doing. And I cannot name. I know one thing I know when it comes to government, you got rules that are on paper, but then they're talking about the day-to-day execution of the function of the government. I cannot name too many. Even in this great United States, I don't know about too many things a vice president is responsible to do. Maybe the vice president is even more active here because they vote on bills. The vice president, you got two-party system where in the vice president will usually come to cast, a tiebreaker vote. But you the head of the Senate, you can't even cast a vote on anything except that it's a tiebreaker. And I cannot name 2 times in history in Liberia since 1847 that a vice president cast a tiebreaker. So this whole thing, like I said, they got a constitutional aspect, then you got the operational aspect. Until the president can unleash a vice president, my brother, that role become dormant. You are just a backup to the president. Whether the other hypothetical about removing people and happening business, no, I'm not interested in that. I am just saying the roles and function of the vice president, except the president unleash you, put you on the role, give you more responsibility, that's when you become active. I don't know about too many constitutional roles that I could name in Liberia.
Okay. Monk, to get to that point, before Steve comes in, right? The vice president responsibility, the primary responsibility is the vice president is the principal advisor to the president. Every major decision in the country, the vice president, that's why in America here, you hear about the situation room. You hear about wherein the president can make a hard decision. You're always with the vice president. That means if you are participating in making major decisions in the country on behalf of the country, that means you are not a parker. Unless Joseph Bagai or Joseph Bagai lied about he being a parker, he came back and later on and said that he was the last person to leave the room when Ellen Johnson was making decisions. So Joseph Bagai now using this guy to do most of the work. How can you say he's a parker when he's been used by the president to do everything the president is supposed to be doing? So they are all, they are all deceptive.
I don't want to cut you off, but if you want to make that case, don't forget that the advisory board to the president is an entire council. So I'm talking about the constitutional requirement and the day-to-day function of the vice president. Because if you want to talk about the advisory, the president got a team of individuals on when it comes to advising the president. So I don't know whether you will use that to say, oh, the vice president is an active individual in the government because he advises the president. When the president is having a council meeting, he calls a host of individuals, and most of them are not even vice president. So what we say?
Monk, what is the constitutional role of the vice president? Let's forget about the president asking him to do the claiming that you claim that the president makes him effective. What is this?
Brother, they say he's the head of the Senate. That's the number one thing.
And what else does he do?
He's the role of the Senate. He plays number 2 to the president backup. The only thing I know about vice president, in the case of an emergency, death, resignation, vice president takes over. He's the one that casts a tiebreaker ballot because he's not even eligible to cast a ballot in the Senate, even though ceremoniously they call him the head of the Senate. In the case of Labrador, you never had a tiebreaker ever. So technically, a vice president goes over there, he sits there, he meets with the president. I don't know when it comes to the day-to-day function of government. I don't know of too many rules that
have you seen Jeremiah every day in the Senate? Have you seen Jeremiah every day in the Senate when he in Labrador?
My brother, I'm not saying he's there every day.
On the show and say that why I disagree with you, bro. We can say on the show here that the president got to make the vice president function before he's functional when he has a role. And if the vice president feels that even his role at the Senate is being undermined, whatever it is, then he has the right to come out and say it, or he can resign. But if he stays there, collect more money, more than the president. In the case of the sitting vice president Jeremiah Kun, how many times Jeremiah Kun have traveled on private jets? Jeremiah Kun has been taxed a few days when the electricity didn't happen. They turned it over to him. Jeremiah Kun was taxed to speak to the motorcyclists when he came out. Jeremiah Kun was taxed to make sure he reduced the price or negotiate the quote-unquote the machines that they brought, the F machines that they brought to Labrador. All of those things were given to Jeremiah Kun. What have we seen from there? Listen,
my brother, the case that I made when you were comparing the question you asked, you were making the comparison between Boaka's statement and Jeremiah Kun. I'm not here to defend Jeremiah Kun. I was just clarifying the statement Joseph Boaka made at the time. I'm not here to play quarterback for Jeremiah Kun. I don't know why he made that statement, whether it was for political reason, whether he was sending a signal to the president. I am just saying, during the campaign, the video that we watched from Joseph Boaka justifying why we never saw him on so many occasions, because there were, I said, 12 years Madam Seli was president. I can name 4 or 5 instances that I can tell you that Joseph Boaka actually participated in that I can remember. So I was talking about Joseph Boaka, not Jeremiah Kun. I cannot make that same argument for Jeremiah Kun. That's what I'm saying.
We're talking about Jeremiah Kun, bro. We're talking about Jeremiah Kun, bro.
Oh, okay, but that's a different thing.
But Jeremiah Kun's statement is undermining himself. And that's why I'm saying
that's up to him and up to Joseph Boaka. That's why he's the president. If he feels Jeremiah Kun is trying to undermine, he knows what to do as a politician.
And honestly speaking, whether you like Joseph Boaka or not, whether you're supporting or not, me, I like to be fair on the issue. I like to be clear on the issue. Jeremiah Kun's statement is indirectly saying Joseph Boaka is not giving him a chance to be effective. It's undermining the government that he's currently sitting in.
All right.
It's undermining the current government that he's sitting in. It's undermining the Joseph Boaka government. It's printing the Joseph Boaka government wrong to the word, to the international word, the rest of the word, that he's being suppressed, that he's a parker, he's not doing what he's supposed to do. It's also in Jeremiah Kun, in his deception, he's still the sitting vice president. It's also making it look as though that he has been doing nothing since they took over. But on the contrary, whether you like Joseph Boaka or not, he has been given roles to do, as evidenced by that even he coming to America, he alluded to it that the president approved of it. If you were a parker, why would the president want for you to travel to America? So, I mean, let's look at it. Let's I'm not a supporter of Joseph Human Boakala who does it also. But let the truth be told where it is. Me, I'm about the truth and the facts. You can't be sitting with your boss, and the boss is delegating these tasks. Your salary, your pay is more than your boss pay. We have never seen that before in recent time or ever heard about that. Me, I've never heard about it. I haven't come across anything like in the papers. For you to your salary, his salary right now is more than Joseph Boaka's salary. He's been traveling on private jets. He's been going all of the delegation, all of the tasks that Joseph Boaka has given him. He's been in charge basically. But for you to come back, and say you're a Packer, then Jeremiah Kun, he says he's on a mission. He's on a mission to destroy Joseph Human Boaka and to destroy this government, to undermine this government. So today or tomorrow, if any report come out that Joseph Boaka's government and regime is oppressive, they can link it to that his own vice president say he will suppress. I mean, think about it. Think about it, Mo. They can link it
but that's the fundamental difference. That's what I'm telling you. I'm interpreting the statement that Joseph Boaka made, because the fundamental difference is Joseph Boaka being a professional that been in government for a very long time. He knew how to play a professional game. He said it when Madam Sali was out of office. In the case of Jeremiah Kun, he's saying it when this government is less than 2 years in power. That's what I keep saying. Joseph Boaka spent 12 years as vice president. Jeremiah Kun is yet to meet his 2nd year anniversary. That's two different things. The apples to oranges. Whether they gave him more budget, because I can't remember any time under Madam Sali government where Joseph Boaka was giving more budget than Madam Sali. It never happened. Exactly. So I'm not here to play defense for Jeremiah Kun. I am just interpreting what Joseph Boaka meant at the time we listened to the entire clip. That's why I keep telling you, you cannot compare 12 years to 1 year, 3 months. It makes no sense. They are apples to oranges. I am just saying, based on the role given to the president and what we saw from Joseph Boaka, I think he was never neutralized as he should have been, because that was the statement, that was the case he was making at the time, that we were there for 12 years, but you didn't see me so many times because I was always on the sideline.
Okay, Monk, that statement is not only wrong, but he lied when he said that. Joseph Boaka was in charge of agriculture ministry. Joseph Boaka was in charge of different things, and he himself stated that he was the last person to leave the room when the President Sirleaf was making all the major decisions. So to say Joseph Boaka was not utilized, it was deceptive. Yet Joseph Boaka never told the truth. He has always been deceiving the Liberian people in everything he does, which is unfortunate. So he lied when he said he was a Packer. He wouldn't say that because he didn't want to take responsibility for the failure of the Sirleaf government. Then when it came to the successes of Sirleaf government, he wanted to take credit. He said he was the last person to leave the room. So the man is never being honest to himself and not to the Liberian people. So that statement is completely deceptive.
And Mr. Kana, follow up to what you just said. Even when it comes to the former vice president, in fact, he said that there's corner opportunity, and that also spark up a lot of debates. So when it comes to that, he was saying, in fact, he was packed, quote unquote, according to him. Then later on, he come back and said, no, even though I said if I were packed or I was packed, but guess what? We squander. So then the former president said, oh, okay. But this man said, in fact, he was packed. How come he's also saying that if I was squander? So where were he when we were squandering? So that means there are a lot of things that are also happening into some of these things that we're saying today. And I want for Liberians to also listen and open their ears and get some of these things that we are saying. Because this current vice president to come out so early and say that if he's quote unquote is packed, then he also started or maybe quote unquote running campaign, or in fact you want to be president. I think Monk, I'm a bit confused when it comes to that, because we're here and we still observing something happening. So I mean, moving forward, the president also said that if you want to run campaign, then you should resign. So I want to ask you this question, Monk. Would the vice president be willing, quote unquote, to resign? Because you already started running campaign already. Because if you people on our side also endorsing him, maybe to be president, that means it's a campaign by itself. So is he waiting right now to resign?
Well, I think they can answer that question for the Joseph Army or for Jeremiah Cohen and Joseph Boga administration. I'm just saying, because I know when the president, the reason the president got advisor is not for the advisor to make decision. When you are vice president, when president are making critical decisions, yeah, you can give an input to influence their decision, but you are not the one calling the shot. So I can understand when the vice president say, yeah, we squander some opportunity. Maybe if he would have been in the presidency at the time, he would have taken a different step as compared to what Madam Sally did. That's just what he was saying, literally from that interview.
But the man president now. So what is he doing now? All the opportunity he
But
has.
that's it. That's why now we're seeing who. That's why we're seeing who Joseph Boga has made. Or now his presidency will justify what Madam Sally never utilizing as a vice president. I am just saying it's up to Joseph Boga to make that call. If he feels that Jeremiah Kun is undermining him, then and he laid it emphatically. If you're looking up to 2029, you might as well quit from our administration. That's one thing. And I one of the things that Steve brought up, I think, a few days or weeks ago, that say the statement was made in two different dispensations. Joseph Boaga made that statement after they were out of office. For Jeremiah Kun, he less than 2 years in power. So Joseph Boaga, look, just like Omar can say, Boaga not baby. He been in politics for long. He knows exactly what to do and the intent of Jeremiah Kun. So I'm not here to play defense for Jeremiah Kun. I am just speaking in the context of Madam Salif administration and the roles and responsibility that was given to Joseph Boaga at the time. That's just all I'm saying. So he know what to do for his vice president. But anyway, guys, I think we exhaust this topic now. I mean, I don't know.
But Mark, on the same topic, the next thing, again, I'm not here to play defense for anybody, but I also think every time Jeremiah has the opportunity, he and Joseph Boakai, I think they're not very good communicators. So they need to be careful. To be honest, I think, and I believe that they should use limited words, short words, and just go away. They're not media friendly. They don't know how to speak about issues. They don't use diplomatic or professional languages. For example, I listened to him. Whether you like former President George Weah or not, it is in record, it is in history. Former President George Weah is not just ordinary citizen in Liberia. Whether you like it or not. No, he is not. And not everybody will be president in a life for our country. Again, I'm not here to support George Weah. Has no, my statement got nothing to do with support for anybody. These are just the facts, and we must align them. So for sitting Vice President Jeremiah Kun to not even know that fact and speak the way he spoke about former President George Weah, it says a lot about him. Will he want to be treated like that after he's left the vice presidency? Will he want to be treated that way? See, these are some of the things that we're saying because we don't want to set the precedents for these kind of things, right? It's okay to state that former President George Weah did not shake your hands. It's okay to say that you have your difference, he's mad at you, or he's not happy with you, or whatever it is. We don't care about you and George Weah friendship. But you can't make former President George Weah look as though he's just a common citizen now because he's no longer president. No, he's a former president. He is a former president. And whether you like him or not, whether you disagree with his leadership, his policies, the way he ran the country, we do that here on Sktv every day. But it don't take away the fact that he's a former president. And he should be treated as the former president. That's why on Sktv we're on record. Even when you try allegedly to stop him from using the presidential suite or whatever it is at the airport, we condemn it. It shouldn't be done that way. You don't want Joseph Boaga to be treated that way. When Joseph Boaga was former vice president, he was treated with respect. Whether you like it or not, nobody's stopping one day for using the VIP lounge or whatever it is. So certain things must continue. Even in disagreement, it must continue. That's how it's supposed to be. So, Mark, I don't know why we add to that before we get to the...
That's why you see, I keep telling you, anytime something happens like in this particular day and age, this social media dispensation where people like to listen to soundbite, I don't go for soundbite because I always say when you listen to people in totality, when you understand what they are trying to say, then it's easy to make sense of that statement. Jeremiah Kun is no fool. Jeremiah Kun at Georgia is not an ordinary person. Georgia transcends even Liberia. Georgia is a cultural icon in Liberia. Georgia is a globally acclaimed figure. So Jeremiah Kun was not speaking about Georgia's status. What he was talking about, the role and function of a protocol, and that he even went beyond the call of duty to even respect the president when he offered his hand, because I listened to the whole interview for the one that he did with Tomalin George. So when Jeremiah Kun said Georgia is an ordinary citizen, he means that Georgia It's not in an elected position at the moment. That's what he meant. He mean that Georgia is some ordinary Liberian. Like even a child in the mother's womb know who Georgia is in Liberia in terms of his fame, his recognition, even beyond Liberia. So that was not the context Jeremiah was speaking from.
But
I
Mom, how
don't
do
know
you?
why people try to overplay that they meant. Yeah,
No,
he's
no,
the
no, no,
sitting
no,
vice
no, no.
president in Georgia. It's not an elected official. Isn't that a fact?
No, let me
Isn't
disagree with you
Georgia
again.
an
No, let me
ordinary
disagree with you.
citizen
Let me
at the
disagree
moment?
with you again. Let me disagree. We're not in his head. We're not in Monk. This is wrong. This is wrong. You can't be doing this. Monk, we're not in his head. So know what he was assuming and what you are not assuming.
No, but I listened to the entire interview. Go
No, it
listen to
doesn't matter.
Kimani George's
It doesn't
interview.
matter. When you are
He
speaking
spoke.
in context, no. When you are a public official and you are speaking, you don't say you're speaking in context, you speak into reality. Let's say, for example, why couldn't he say Joe Weah is no longer an elected official? It would still mean the same thing that he said. But if you say the man use words deliberately to say Josh Weah is a common citizen, what are you talking about? You say you were speaking in context, but man, don't do that, man.
I didn't say you were speaking in context. I said when people speak, listen. When they speak in context, get it.
So, yeah, Mr. Kane. So for me, on the entire job,
Mo, let me come in real quick. Because I'm about to leave you guys. So on this Joe Weah issue, I think Jeremiah Kun understands and he knows the fact that Joe Weah is now a common citizen, is not an ordinary citizen. But I think the context, I think he misspoke the way he put it. But if you put it into context, it means that somebody who is a former president will always become Mr. President, President Weah. We all call President Weah, right? So that's now a common citizen. That's number one. Number two, when people retire from government position, they all call themselves private citizen. They don't call themselves common citizen. They say private citizen. That means they are not functionary of a government anymore. They call themselves because you know what? They are returning to their private life.
Thank you.
They're focusing on their private life. That's how they call them private citizen. But Jeremiah Kun was being dismissive and disrespectful to George Weah. That's the bottom line, and that was wrong because as a leader. Because one day you will retire too, and you will be accorded the same respect that you give to other people. So, I think Jeremiah Kun has been very dismissive and disrespectful.
Wow.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, thank you.
I think honestly,
yeah.
That's how I see it, from a contextual standpoint. Because again, he could have chosen, Joe Weah as a private citizen now. It's implied. That's true. He's no longer a government functionary, like you said. That's a no-brainer. But Monk, we can't, for you to say the man just a common citizen, you are being dismissive.
Well, I don't know which word you may choose to use, whether it's private citizen or common citizen, because that's what I'm saying. When you listen to the context from which he spoke, that's why he said, I am the sitting vice president now. I'm an elected official. George Weah, nobody, who in the world can be dismissive of George Weah's popularity and fame and when it comes to common citizenship? You want for someone to believe that George Weah is just an ordinary Liberian? George Weah is even bigger.
Mom, promises started
beyond Liberia. So that's what I'm saying.
Mom, let me say this to you.
Go ahead.
Yeah, just quickly. Somebody private life as a celebrity is different from the presidency. Presidency overshadow all of those that you can mention here. The fact that George Weah is a former president, he get different. He has different status way beyond being a private citizen or being a common citizen or being an ordinary person. The man is a former president of the republic, so he should be accorded that respect, especially from somebody who is sitting vice president. That's a fact.
So what's the argument you guys trying to make? Let me get this clear. Are you guys saying that Jeremiah Kun had a poor choice of war, or he want to downplay or outrightly disrespect George Weah? Is that what he's telling me?
Both.
Yes,
both.
Yes,
Oh,
exactly.
Okay. All right,
That's what he did.
got it. All right.
That's what he did. He meant
exactly.
He meant to disrespect the guy.
You were deliberate because you know why he laid the premise before he did that. Because he laid the premise before he did that. He said John Weah refused to shake a hand. John Weah refused to say Samuel Koga hand. John Weah went under the Paraba Hall and shake other people's hand. So right there, he is telling you the next action that he's going to take. Now, saying he never had the opportunity to do it like that or to say in your face, like he said to the world, to So basically,
Yes.
Mom, I mean, I honestly, let me be honest.
But before he made that statement, he said, "I walked to go and meet him as a sitting vice president. I walked to him, and he
what he
refused
said?
to shake my hand.
Exactly.
And then he
So
went on the hall and shook other people's hand. But you
Right.
still want me to believe that Jeremiah Kuhn decided to be outrightly disrespectful to Georgia, to honor him, to take him to be like an ordinary citizen, even though he was saying that I even went above protocol just to respect this man, but still, he never gave me that courtesy. But you want to tell me, to convince me here, that Jeremiah Kuhn intentionally meant to disrespect Joshua. Anyway, bro, that Sktv, that is different. That is different in your opinion. So
Steve, quickly, Mark. I think yesterday we witnessed the decoration ceremony, and there were a lot of security officers that were guarding the former president. So what we are saying here, for some of us, or what the other team members are saying, is that even though you will say, or maybe the current vice president will say, okay, yes, in fact, I'm the current vice president, I have the power, I have all of the maybe the security on me, or maybe when my car is going, the former president will park. Well, that's not the issue. People understand all these things, but to come up, then that means I will be asking you, Steve, and then Mr. Kane, as to what are these things happen even in the US to where you people live. Like, for example, Barack Obama, as to what are the current vice president will, or maybe of US will come out and say, Barack Obama is just a common president, I don't care about him, I move, I do this, I do that. What are the kind of things maybe will be saved by the current vice president? No. Again.
No. In the US, whether you like it or not, President Trump, like him or not, accords the respect to his fellow former presidents. Not only that he does that, but what he also does is he might disagree with them on their policies. That's acceptable. He might disagree with them on issues of how they govern and decisions that they made. But even when they were running the campaign the next day, when he and what a lady named Kamala Harris met to the 9/11 site in New York, he went to her, he shook her hand, he embraced her. Now, I agree with Monk, and I agree with Vice President Jeremiah Kuhn that he felt disrespected as a sitting vice president going to speak to President Joe, and President Joe, we are refusing to shake his hand. We spoke about that on the show. But my point here is, two wrongs can make a right. You're a sitting vice president. The man did all of this. You've already laid the case. But you come back to pay the man back in a disrespectful way too. You understand? You knowingly selected words that you know that will isolate this man, step on him, make him look irrelevant or whatever it is. And you can rest assured that seditions, because George Weah is their god, the same way how United Party people don't reason out of George. Yeah, they're not going to let it slide. And we are not saying it because we're seditions or we're United Party partisans. We're saying this because we want the office of the presidency to be respected at all times. And to those of you, somebody said, well, some of you have used words here. Yes, if the president is a criminal, I will call him president, but I will still call him a criminal. If the president is a liar, I will call him president, but I will still call him a liar. It does not mean I've taken away his title or whatever it is. Like I've always said, Joseph Boakai is a certified international liar and local liar. Joseph Boakai is a liar. It's a fact. I'm not disrespecting him, but it doesn't mean I took away the presidency. So let's get that clear. For those of you who are passing around with your one-sided brain way of thinking, like Mr. Kane can say, you got peanut brains. I'm not here for you. You know I don't play like that. I will say what is right and I'll say the truth. Yeah, so Monk, I don't know what you have to say before we go to the land because I know.
For me, I know they want to. I know they want to make this thing political. My interpretation was. Because that's why he like, bro, the first reaction is political. Unity Party with the CDC. My thing here is, from the time Jeremiah said that I woke up from my seat to go and meet the former president, I interpreted it like, sometimes you can have good intention, but you can use a poor choice of word. That's how I interpreted it. Because if Jeremiah could want to be outright disrespectful to Georgia, he would have left from under the Palawa Hall to walk to the former president to go shake his hand to greet him. That's why I interpreted it. But for them, they will see it that way. You know, he takes them and said, no, I don't think that's the context he was speaking from, because if you want to disrespect someone as a sitting vice president, then he might as well just sit in his seat and let Georgia to walk in and do whatever he want to do. But for the fact that he showed that gesture, like he said, even when it comes to protocol, you know that the former president is more like an honorary title now at this stage, because he's not in office as opposed to the vice president, who is an elected official now in office. So when people try to put too much politics, I didn't see it that way, but maybe people might interpret it that way. But I don't want to believe that he just want to relegate Georgia. Georgia can never be an ordinary Liberian, whether it's politics or not, or beyond politics. Georgia is not only a celebrity, like I said, he's a cultural icon in Liberia. So I don't want to believe that Jeremiah Kun really wanted to disrespect Georgia. I won't subscribe to that. But
so, before we go to the line quickly, what do you guys make of the new candidate on the black from the CMC? What do you guys make of him? Last week I made a statement that I think it was early that they made that choice to, and I till today, I believe it's still the same. My statement is still the same. I stand by what I said last week, in my view. So what do you guys make of it's been almost 2 weeks now or so since he's been announced or supported by the CMC. Mark, what do you mean? Do you think it changed the dynamics of the race, especially with Samuel Koga, I think, being supported and backed by the Unity Party allegedly? What say you? Do you think CDC and other parties will split on this one here? What say you, Inima Kante?
You're talking about for the CMC, the candidate?
Yeah.
I heard of that guy. I don't know which role he played in Nima County. I'm not too informed about him. I don't know whether the impact he will have. Maybe he can ride on the party, the new party momentum. The only thing I'm monitoring this particular race in Nima County is for one reason only. I want to see the strength of Jeremiah Kun, because like I said on this show on countless occasions, there were so many times that Jeremiah Kun became the beneficiary or the recipient of the gesture, the political gesture, or the political capital of Prince Johnson, the late senator. So for the first time, we have an opportunity to test the strength of Jeremiah Kun, at least while we look forward to 2029. That's the only thing I'm trying to observe in this special election in Nima County. But if I tell you I know a lot about that guy, no, I don't think I can speak to anything concerning him because I'm not too informed. I don't know too much about him. Trust me.
Yeah, let add one of the CMC representative.
Yeah,
So I was ready to listen. I was ready to leave because why you didn't ask the question when I was there?
Yeah, when I
was there, when I come there now, in fact, let me say this categorically, disagree with Steve because he was uninformed. He has no idea about what's going on in the TMC, or he doesn't know anything about the incoming Senator Mike Bloom. Steve, the last week he said that it was not timely for CMC for CMC. Yeah, the same thing, the same word. It was not timely, premature. So it was not timely for us to field a candidate. First of all, who are you to tell us when to field a candidate? Listen. You still hold on, but that doesn't give you the right to do with our party. Second of all, you have no idea as to what this guy is, and this is an opportunity for Nima County. This guy is former Inspector General for the entire county. This guy has traveled everywhere in they have solved problems with everybody in Nima County, young people, old people alike. This guy knows the country, he knows their problem. This guy has resolved a lot of conflict in the country, in the country. This guy has been always peaceful. Unlike Koga, who have served 13 years in the House of Representatives with nothing to show for it, for the people to sit down, simply because Steve thinks it's too early, because CMC was just funded less than a week or 2 or 3, When the opportunity is there, the euphoria is there, the momentum is there to elect this guy, then we should let that opportunity go and allow Koga, who is law abiding, as well as I can assure you, Mike Billion will come here on Saturday. You can ask all the questions you want to ask him. He will be able to defend himself. He will tell you reasons why he is the better of all candidates in the race right now in Nema County. For example, let me tell you something right now. It's the owner of CMC and the MDRO feeding candidate, all major political party in the country. All the other one there, they're now independent, somewhere. And nobody care about them. It's going to be between Samuel Koga and Mike Bloom. And Mike Bloom will emerge winner at the end of the day. So if you have a question, wait for him to come on Saturday. You can ask him all the questions you want. Because when I'm not on, I don't want anything negative to come here about CMC when I'm not there to defend it.
But say you're here now. I mean, my point.
But I'm about to leave now.
No, but I was still make my point like you're here.
Yeah, make a point clear. If you not say the right thing, I'll come back.
Okay, no problem. Well, folks, let me say this. Last week, my session about the CMC, it was in no way, shape, or form.
Okay, Steve, let me correct something real quick, so that way maybe that will inform your opinion.
Yeah,
so, as we speak right now, CMC endorsed Mike Bleon because Mike, as a former citizen, Mike was supposed to be running as independent. But when CMC was created, Mike said, you know what? My agenda, developmental agenda, for my country in line with the CMC. So I'd rather go with CMC than just go independent. So Mike is now officially not only on CMC but also running as a candidate on CMC ticket as a political party in the country. I just want to clarify that. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Well, so let me go back to my statement. Last week, I said in passing that the CMC, I believe it was too early for them to support or to rush to support a candidate. I believe so. And up until today, even with what I know now, I still stand by the fact that I believe it's still early. The reason is they're just coming on. The Liberian people need to get to know them. This election came by. They probably didn't plan for it. The election took them by surprise. And so with the Liberian people trying to check them out, whatever it is, if Mark William loses or whatever his name is, if he loses, it's a ding on them. If he wins, it's a plus on it. It's a huge gamble.
Oh, yeah, it's a huge gamble. That politics.
And so from a strategic standpoint, I was looking more from a strategic standpoint, but it was no way, shape, or form endorsing Samuel. I would never in my life endorse character like Samuel Koga. No way. There is no way.
You mean they're using both of their body?
Right. I can never do that. There's no way. No way. I will kick rocks before I do that. I will go be passing the rock, kicking rock in the sand all day before I get to do that. I can't bring myself to that. No, I can't. So there's a context in which I was speaking on. Because Liberian people have a tendency to put label on people and to use one mistake or one failure to want to hold you to that, and suppress you or whatever it is. So the CMC had a perfect opportunity to say, you know what, Ping, this is what I would do. We'll hold off. We'll not officially endorse or support anybody. We'll let them play this one out. And then maybe the next one we could be more prepared. By that time, we would have established our fair, gotten our feet wet and all that. There's the context in which I was speaking. But hey, if the CMC feel like they got what it takes to support somebody bon voyage, you're going to support it. It doesn't mean that we're not holding you accountable. We'll still hold your CNC people accountable. And Mark will be here on Saturday. It will not be easy. The show will be hot. You don't miss the show. Because we'll ask Mark all of the technical questions. We'll ask him. We'll ask Mark. We'll say that. We now started research on his side. As of today, Melbourne and Mom will be sending your team. We'll deep beyond Mark. We'll go into the closet. We'll bring all his secrets. We don't also say that and say, what thing? Your team, what thing? You leave that story. And then when we open the line, I get to the Sony. Yeah, we don't hear what I think. But what laughing?
Why Muna quiet today? Muna, what have you? Just enjoying the show and just smiling. Muna, like, let me just listen. I ain't got time to wait in too much today.
Nothing happened, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I share the same sentiment with Steve when it comes to the kind of a pressure from this candidate. Even who know, politics are gamble, is a risk. You roll it down. Who knows what might happen?
That's my hassle. You see my hassle. What? Well, anyway, that's the video a lot. And my counsel already finished speaking. Who am I to talk after my legal counsel finished talking? Today's caller, good evening. Keep a call coming 0770 203125. That's the number to call again 0770 203125. That's the number to call this evening to be part of the SKTV show. Today's caller, good evening.
Good evening, Rebo. How you doing?
My dear, I'm okay. Thank God for life. 1 minute, please go ahead.
Thank you. Yeah, I want to say good evening to Steve and to Monk. But I think I'd like to start with Monk. You understand? That's his politicking. Initially, when the transitional team, when the incoming government and the outgoing met at the mansion, George Weah refused. The tip is all over the place. I can say you guys say he refused to shake Jeremiah Kuhn's hand. And then again at the funeral, he refused. So you want Timothy George can add Jeremiah Kuhn. You want for Jeremiah Kuhn to glorify him? He was definitely not glorifying him because he understands that in fact, more besides, the speaker is a better interpreter. He had noticed that the refusal is on 2 occasions. So you want him to be praising, to be fighting for snake, to be glorifying John Weah, and then he's a sitting vice president. It's obvious that he will come back to denigrate him too, because you don't want, as you promote your friend demote you, you have to stay your ground.
All right, thank you so much. To this call out. Hello?
Hello, Milton, Mon, and all of you on the show.
Yeah, go ahead, my dear, my brother Steve. Just begin me to laugh. What they will see with it. But go ahead, my brother.
Yeah, this is the voice of PSI and I told you for Sokonet District 4. You know, I get done more. Mom is trying to provide some balance because it's not easy for all many. Anyway, Mom, continue. Yeah, try to balance us. But quickly, let me say to all the people, the scenario is back again about the old car. I think I heard the old car story from 2017 to 2023. Now, old racing car was parked, not on the track. Now we are placed one old racing car on the track, and we're seeing the performance. You can go ahead and view how the blood is today. Then we are hearing about another old racing car park and trying to get on the track. So it's up to you, Liberians, to bring that other old car on the track. Is that time we're bringing old car and seeing the performance? Well, that's up to you. But when it comes to the power of the vice president, I heard my senior brother Mon saying that, oh, the president, no. The constitution gives constitutional position for a vice president. A vice president is giving instruction by the constitution that he is both in the legislature and in the executive.
All right, thank you so much. Today's caller, good evening, please, 1 minute.
Yeah, good evening, Mabel, and your co-host in the diaspora, and Peter Tavika cover another two that you got even.
Thank you, Peter.
Thank you for the fascinating discussion this evening. You know, firstly, when Jeremiah said that he's a biker, I think that's just an admission to gross incompetency. There's no interpretation of that and a rap that is more than gross incompetency. The vice president is packed and the president is packed. That's why every sector of the Nigerian society is being packed. Nothing is moving because Liberia is headed by a two-packed individual. And lastly, you know, the man party need to elevate his thinking horizon. I will look at no war, even in the world, no individual that is mentally updated will look at we are a calling ordinary citizen. Even the children in the kids too, they can't do that. So these guys, the growth and the anger of the process, the government is one something there. They lack the mental capacity, they lack the sense of direction. So they see we have to be a threat. They think we are coming back on now.
All right. Thank you so much. Today's caller, good evening. My dear, okay, thank God for life. Go ahead, your name and from where you join us. Okay, thank you so much for joining us.
But I'm sorry to say, maybe when I've been now somebody will come in, but let me tell you something now. They seem to me, I guess coming from 70 The system with this station was the one being able to chill out. In the main, I mean, Samuel Koga is my but I do not have put it right in my can sense of one. I've never put it in my. But what I've listened to 2 or 3 days that I've spent in my can is that Samuel Koga is still leave. When I call my according to their post.
Samuel Koga, is that Samuel Koga is in a what?
When I say Samuel Koga is on a high starting in my.
Okay.
I spent 3 days in my. I spent 3 days in 7 days. I was listening to 2 hours. The system for 7 days.
Okay, thank you. We're not doing opinion pool. Opinion pool can pull anybody first. Even Joseph Walker 2017, we're having all the senators. I ended the BT. So let's call a good evening. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, good evening. How are you?
Yeah, we're fine. Thank God for life. Go ahead, my brother. Thank you for joining us, Nima Sidiki.
You see, but let me tell you, Marco. Nima can't say it's not enough to unity party. It's not unity party. The Joe Senator is for unity party. Yanka for unity party. Jeremiah for unity party. They try to seek another candidate for unity party to represent Nima party. So you see, Nima can't belong to unity. I mean, Nima can't belong to unity party. Unity party. We have to come on that Nima and you can say Coca. He get to justify people represent. And I think it's a Hassan Benedict. That they can't make the entire own. What that means? I mean, you can't be able to the parliament. So after all, you might vote on my website in my country. You vote anybody, but including you should not vote and say what to because it's a law breaker. The member will break a law. None of you go in this country. You can kind of how you going to look at today. Then you want to be left to the business. But our former president, we agree have problem. But if we still law in this country, what they left. So that tells me that Seko can represent, we said no. Seko will never be considered for Nima Khan. God bless you.
Thank you so much. Today's caller, good evening. We take a few more calls and cross over to our team. Hello.
Yeah. Good evening, Mabel.
Yes, my dear, go ahead. Your name and from where you join us.
Yeah, thank you very much for your show. Mabel, what again? This is our David family. I joined a discussion from Omega Market, the legacy of former president here. But Mabel, if it is true that the vice president Jeremiah ever said that President Weah, he is a packer, or President Weah is a common man in this country, then that means the government that he's serving as vice president is doing injustice in this country. Because in former President Weah is a packer, but the government is providing security and other money at the end of every month, maybe they pay him. Then I mean all the former senators in the
I think up to 8 to 9 EPS officers assigned with the former president. Yeah, indeed. Go ahead.
Okay, very good. Okay, we don't former senators. Then I mean all the former senators that those are what the former senators in this country more than million. So you have to be advocating for everyone of us to get together and start to us to get all our benefit every month because if you can look at former president where he is a former man and you know that all the former senators in the country will pay this. So now former senators will start together to protest for all the benefit. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Let me go to this caller. Hello.
Yes. Good evening, Mabel.
Yeah, my brother. Good evening. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is David King. I join you from Communities.
Thank you, David.
Let's stick to all of the analysis. But let me say this. President Weah, in presidency or the presidency, he is still presidential. Evident by the fact yesterday, I saw President Weah at the cemetery that he went to first they began from Tingle Village to Foka Mission. And you could see the multitude of people. Oh, Mr. President. Oh, we miss you, Mr. President. And, you know, and you could see the police, the armed police officer, EPS officer, armed EPS officer, providing security for President Weah. So for Jeremiah, who do not understand the intellectual space of our country, to abroad to America and somebody pushing a question for you to say, I am very busy intellectually to understand the kind of tricky question that journalists bring to people. Ghana and say, President Weah is a common citizen. President Weah is not just a common citizen. President Weah is an eminent citizen of the Republic, a former president of the Republic.
All right, thank you so much. The last caller, of course, all the entire country is packed, according to Melvin Dishu. one of our strong supporter. Hello, today's caller. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Good evening. Thank you for the topic of discussion. I'm Alex from calling for something. I want to appreciate you guys for what you two are discussing. And I want to make things clear here about President Weah is a permanent, we know that President Weah is a permanent citizen of Liberia, he is the former president of Liberia. Does not give him the authority to disrespect the current leaders, or someone show respect to you because you feel that you are occupying that position as president. So it means that they have that title, no. But if the current past president Jeremiah Kunam has authority over him, as he was saying, either of you, if past president Jeremiah Kun is going, Joria is going, he will pack a car. And again, any crime now, when they investigating, anything happens, they say, oh, President Weah is involved into this. You will be stripped. You will be put to jail. President Weah is going to solve this now. But Jeremiah...
Hello, you say what? Don't come on a public video and say someone will go to jail. Go to jail for what? Okay, thank you. You just walk away, just say thing.
Let the man message the way they're going to solve this. What do you want that?
Well,
why you got the man out?
Yeah, hey, man, talk, bro.
So the man finish already. The man go off the line. So yeah, game. No more time. We have 5 more minutes to go. So yeah, we got to wrap up quickly.
More go ahead. They call it Monkey there.
I think Monk is out. So yeah. The job is yeah. Educating people yet. Seriously.
Yeah, but imagine what time to where I cannot so be. Anyway, let me say thanks to our caller and our listeners and our viewers. You know, the things that we do, I don't think on this platform we hit any political party or any political leader. I don't think so. I really don't think so. In fact, if anything, we are one of the group of people on this platform that work with these different political leaders, actors, and parties, and we're willing to work with them. But here is something that we will not do on this platform. We do not pressing. We have different views. Like you saw it today. Monk and I disagree. Sekou disagree with Monk. I disagree with Sekou. Monk disagree with Sekou. That's it. We don't call to coordinate. Or Sekou don't call and say, oh, let's be on one side and let Monk be on the other side and let go after the minute. No, we don't do that. No, we don't do that. No. We're not engaged with that. Our goal is to ensure that in the 21st century, this time, we hold our leaders accountable to do the best for Liberia. I don't want to come here and be saying Joseph Boaga is a joke. I really don't want to do that. But if Joseph Boaga behaves like a joker, I will say he's a joker. Yes. If he behaves like a criminal, I will say he behaves like a criminal. Yes. If you don't want me to say it, or if you're afraid to say it, go say that in your house. But to tell me, say I will not say it, you're wasting your time. If you want to say I'm disrespectful, say I'm rude, say I'm this, that is your business. That's not my business. I'm not worried about your interpretation. I'm worried about the facts. So these leaders that we're discussing nationally, if you think because they are elected to positions, that means we can call them out when they do certain things, we can hold them accountable when they do certain things, it's a waste of time, folks. It's a waste of time. And we're not going to change. Just so you all know, we're not. We look at the CNC right now. And the CNC man will be here on Saturday, the CNC candidate. Y'all will be here, we're holding accountable, we're asking the necessary question. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. You want to lead people. If you don't want nobody to hold you accountable, if you don't want nobody to call you criminal, rogue, or crook, or liar, then when you come to the public, don't lie. Don't behave like a criminal. Don't be in corruption. Don't engage in corrupt activities. Trust me. There are lawmakers and whatever. I've never called Yaga Koluba a criminal before. I've never called him a liar before. You see it? Because he has not exhibited, he has not demonstrated that. But if Joseph Boakas behaved that way, I will call him that. Just so let we be clear on our one. Let we be clear. Let we be clear on our one. If your expectation is, oh, let be professional and let be civil. Well, if that's mean that I'm not civil because I call him like that based on his behavior, then you're wasting your time. I don't think I'll ever be civil to you. And I don't want to be civil to you. Because your definition of civility is to support people who do bad, people who steal, but you can't protect them. Yeah, Mom, give a parting comment, Chief, before we leave.
Well, my parting comment is very simple, and I listened to one of the first callers. You know, the whole thing about Jeremiah Cohen, President, we know the politics of it. We know where they came from, right? Because at a certain point in time, they were once considered allies, especially when Jeremiah Cohen was on our Ways Means Committee, and maybe CDC had an eye to put in the ticket, but people believe it was a betrayal. And the caller he mentioned a couple of occasions. So maybe this thing could be a beef. But the only reason I'm saying it, because for me, I maintain my position from the entire story, how the whole thing built up. I want to believe that it was mostly about beef. Or I don't think Jeremiah can believe that Georgia is an ordinary Liberian, because Georgia can never and will never be that. And that's history. It's already etched in history that Georgia is not an ordinary Liberian. I would say again. Also, even outside of Liberia, Georgia is not only a celebrity, Georgia is a cultural icon when it comes to Liberia. So the interpretation, whether people want to play politics or not, I know there's more of a personal beef, or maybe the history taking into consideration where they came from a political standpoint and what happened in this going election. Jeremiah was able to flip and be on the ticket of the current president. Maybe that's where this thing is stemming from, but I don't want to believe it. I will maintain that I don't think Jeremiah meant to outright disrespect Joshua. I don't want to believe that. But that's my parting comment for today, just to clarify.
Thank you. Melbourne, it's up to you. Before we call it, tomorrow will be on. We're following the case. We'll
yes,
also talk.
By God grace, tomorrow will be here tomorrow. And my brother, let me say to all of us as people, in all, we got to disagree to agree. At the end of the day, Liberia come first, even though there are so many things happening. But, when we come here, we want our government not to say, or maybe we're fighting to do this. No. It's not what we want nowadays, because we already, look, even if you look at Burkina Faso, rather, my brother, Burkina Faso is moving with speed. What we here still joking, our lawmakers, they are still doing things that are not right. Up to now, there is no understanding even between the majority bloc and that of the minority bloc. So where are we as people? So again, tomorrow, by God grace, my brother, good night, and thank you so much for all of the hard work that we all do here on the Sktv show. And thank you to all of our followers and our viewers.
I'll leave it with you. Good night.
Good.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talking about podcasts and connecting people and culture from getting up out of the club. Monitor people who waiting to sell. Blessing that time and the effort are rest. The process of giving up here, the premise of them. So welcome and live with African.
I lyrical
Master.
Play body so make you I can't Sktv menu. Say my journey, Tina can I say my yamo. And yes I know money, the more I yo. And you love me, the more I
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grand bazaar.
And I dine ya to money, and I salia ya to money, and I wanna play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I dine ya to money, and I salia ya to money, and I wanna play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I forget it now ya to money. That's the thing, and I forget it now. Cause you walk on my ya to money. Yeah.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. My soul rather lover and grandmaster.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talking for podcasts and connecting people and culture from there and I'm part of the club. For the top people who waiting to sell. The session that time and our efforts are rare. The broadcast we giving are real and I promise my best. To work with my life without fear. From Grandfather Nima to Lufa, from Riverside, River G to Chile, from Grand Crew, Bombing, Cape Mount, Montserrat, Sano to Backwalu, from Maryland, Bonkan to the Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa.